What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we go over Michigan picking up yet another flip commitment as they add on to their 2026 recruiting class ahead of early signing day. Plus, the Michigan offensive lineman gets bumped up to 4-star status. We also give the latest on Julian Walker, the top 100 edge commit, as the Wolverines need to find a way to hold on to him. Plus, we go over whether or not Justice Haynes will go pro or return to Michigan, as Michigan does have significant resources to potentially entice Justice Haynes to return. Then we also wrap up the video going over the transfer portal needs for the Wolverines this offseason. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so to start this video, I did want to talk about Michigan landing a new flip commitment from the 2026 3-star interior offensive lineman Adrian Hamilton. He has flipped his commitment from Virginia Tech to the Wolverines, and this one was expected. The Wolverines had multiple predictions going in their favor. They wanted to get at least one more offensive line in the class, and he also recently took an official visit to Michigan, and it's safe to say the Wolverines gave him a lot to think about, and they are able to complete the flip here. A 6'3", 295-pound offensive lineman comes from St. John's College High School in Washington, D.C. He had been committed to Virginia Tech since the summer, but obviously with the coaching change and everything, that opened the door more for the Wolverines, and this is a physical offensive lineman that the Wolverines are getting despite the 3-star rating. But according to E.G. Holland of On3 and the Wolverine, Hamilton said that, it was going to come down to life after football, and he wanted to go to a place that he would want to be if football wasn't in the picture. Also speaking on his recent visit for the Ohio State game, he said the experience was great, atmosphere during the game was great, facilities he really liked, and he said that Michigan was everything he expected. Also got to sit down with offensive line coach Grant Newsome, and they went over film, and he said that I think it's all pretty good, and he said he sees him fitting into the offense in the schemes they run. Also, Michigan edge commits Tariq Boney and Carter Meadows help the Wolverines land Adrian Hamilton, as they all play in the same area, including Tariq Boney, who is his teammate. So that definitely helped the Wolverines' chances there, and Michigan picks up another flip commitment from an offensive lineman. They wanted to add one more in the class. They got it, as they add another flip commitment here leading up to early signing day, which starts tomorrow. So more good recruiting news right there for the Wolverines. They already picked up recent commitments from a Carter Kitchen, a 2027 4-star edge, a huge get in the state of Michigan, and also 2026 4-star cornerback Jamarion Vincent flipping his commitment from Baylor to Michigan on Sunday as well. And now Wolverines flip the 3-star offensive lineman Adrian Hamilton. I also wanted to talk about 2026 now 4-star offensive tackle Tommy Froman. The Wolverines flipped him from Miami, Ohio. He was a Michigan legacy recruit and was rated as a 3-star. However, 24/7 Sports bumped him up to a 4-star rating, as he is a big guy, 6'8", 250 pounds, has the frame to be a great offensive lineman at Michigan. Probably will be more of a developmental piece, but could become a great offensive lineman in the future. So just wanted to mention that. Alright, so hockey, basketball, football season in full swing, and using the Sleeper app you can make tons of picks. Thursday night football, we got Cowboys versus the Lions, and I'm taking George Pickens to have more than 76.5 receiving yards. I'm also taking Jahmyr Gibbs to have more than 72.5 rushing yards. And again, you can make tons of picks like this using the Sleeper app on your favorite players. And right now is a great time to get started, because Sleeper is offering a free $20 entry, no deposit required, plus first-time users still also receive a 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code MST. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. So guys, link down below in the description. Go ahead, check out the Sleeper app today for yourself. And then I also wanted to talk about the 2026 4-star top 100 edge Julian Walker, current Michigan commit, and they have got to get him signed. South Carolina has been pushing. His father is obviously the strength coach at South Carolina, but he did make the trip for the Ohio State game, which was a huge visit, and it appears it went well. According to Steve Wiltfong of Rivals, he said that it was a really good trip, a really big time environment, and I said he thought his mom and family enjoyed the environment, had good conversations with everyone, had great meetings with everyone, and now he's going to sit down with his family and make a decision here. Now, right now, it seems like the Wolverines should be able to hold on. Seems like the visit went great, but you can never rule out South Carolina here going into National Signing Day. So it's going to be a big one to monitor. Julian Walker recently got bumped up to number 26 nationally on the Rivals rankings, and if that ranking holds, he will end up being another 5-star in Michigan's recruiting class, at least on Rivals rankings. So definitely have got to hang on to Julian Walker. And then also the Wolverines looking to potentially keep Justice Haynes for one more year, as obviously Justice Haynes in the games he was healthy this season for the Wolverines was a game changer, especially for Michigan's offense that at times struggled mightily, but Justice Haynes was able to fix a lot of things, and now he will have a decision to either come back for another season with Michigan, run it back, or declare for the NFL draft. But either way, the Wolverines are going to be pushing for a Justice Haynes return, and according to Josh Henschke of Maize and Blue Review, Michigan has significant resources to entice Justice Haynes to return to Michigan for next season. And it's actually pretty interesting because Haynes had a recent NIL collaboration with SeatGeek. Now, I doubt that really means much about him potentially returning or not. It could be part of a new deal he was offered, but what we do know is that Michigan has the resources to try and entice Justice Haynes to return next season. It's going to be very hard. He had a great season, although as we know in the NFL draft, running backs are not valued as much. So there is a chance that Michigan could, get him back for next season, but it's going to be hard. So we'll see if they have the resources and a good NIL deal for him to return next season. The Wolverines also will be addressing Jordan Marshall's deal, as he obviously did prove to be a crucial piece for the Wolverines offense as well. And if you could get both of them back, you have a 5-star coming in out of Savion Hyder. That would be absolutely huge. And as we saw this season, injuries played a huge role this season in that running back room. So you definitely need all the depth you can get in the running back room. So let me know what you guys think. And that brings me to my next topic, which is what the Wolverines must do this offseason, specifically in the transfer portal. First things first, the Wolverines will need to find a new kicker, potentially a new punter as well this offseason. Dominic Zavada will be out of eligibility, so they will for sure need to find a new kicker. Also wouldn't be surprised if there was a change as special teams coordinator this offseason, as special teams was a complete disaster this whole season. And then taking away from that Ohio State game, another thing we learned is that the Wolverines need to go in the transfer portal and get some stud defensive linemen. They went all game without getting pressure on Julian Walker, as Michigan's pass rush was non-existent on Saturday. Also look to add potentially some offensive linemen through the portal. Now Michigan has young talent. Andrew Babalola should be back next season, 5-star, and then they got Ty Haywood, and obviously started 3 redshirt freshmen out of Blake Frazier, Andrew Sprague, Jay Guarnero. So they got a lot of young talent, but it would be nice to still add some experience depth, and also Greg Crippen they will have to replace, so hopefully they can go and get a very good center on the offensive line. Also losing Giovanni El Hadi, so picking up some defensive linemen, offensive linemen, specifically in the interior. I know some of you guys have been asking for a lockdown cornerback from the transfer portal. We'll see if that happens, but then obviously the Wolverines need to go and get some weapons for Bryce Underwood, some experienced wide receivers. Michigan should have the NIL to go out and get some elite experienced weapons for Bryce Underwood. That's clearly another need that they have to go and get in the transfer portal. So that is a transfer portal checklist here going into this offseason. It is quite a bit, but if Sherwood Moore and company fills out the needs, this team entering next season with the young talent they have, that obviously gained tons of experience this season. This team should be very talented. They just have to fill out their needs and go through their checklist. There's already some options out there, so we'll see what they do, and should be a big transfer portal haul here for the Wolverines heading into next season. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.